There's this bar and vegan restaurant, which is cool in I don't know, Canada.
Uh-huh.
I went to, and it was called the Black Lodge, and it was like Twin Peaks themed. So
Hmm.
yeah,
That's cool. But
exciting,
I
right?
like how you described it as, I don't know, Canada.
Yeah, I can't remember where.
Um,
One of the big ones, Toronto or something.
mm, Toronto.
Let's
What's
see.
the one that all the punk bands? Vancouver.
Oh,
Vancouver,
maybe that's it.
British
Actually, the
Columbia.
easiest way would type in Canada Black Lodge Bar.
Yeah,
Vancouver. Yeah, Vancouver. That's where it was. Yup.
we're doing the old fact check again.
The old back checking
The,
myself.
the old fact checking.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a cool place. If anyone's in Vancouver. Oh, wait. The Black Lodge is closing its doors this month in Vancouver from 2021. Never mind.
Well,
You can't go to the Black Lodge.
nothing good can ever last.
Nope. Do it.
Welcome to Accelerativ Thrust. My name is Dan.
And I'm Eric.
And yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff. Hey, you know what? I saw something kind of, I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are about this, but I kind of thought this sounded kind of cool. Are you a Pharrell fan at all?
I mean, I'm not. I don't hate him.
Okay.
I don't know much of his stuff. So
Okay.
I like that he wears a buffalo hat, inspired by Malcolm McLaren.
First buffalo gal go around the outside.
I like a lot of Pharrell's like earlier work. Like I like the first couple of NERD albums.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been a big appreciator of Pharrell. But anyway, he's coming out with a apparently an autobiographical movie. Or I don't know, maybe I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it, but Pharrell is going to tell his life story with Legos in a new movie. So it's going to be a Lego movie about Pharrell's life. And here's why I think that that's kind of cool. I haven't seen like the Lego movie or Lego Batman or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really have any desire to. But why I think that's cool is for all of his, eccentric, because, Pharrell's pretty eccentric in the sort of like Missy Elliott, Andre 3000 kind of way,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is the most Pharrell thing to do.
Yeah. Cool. I'd probably see it just because I do like the Lego movie. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that I don't dislike it. It's just I haven't seen it and have never really had the desire to. But are you telling me that it's good?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely am. Yeah, it's awesome. It's super well made. It's like a really fun thing to watch, kind of like those Spider-Verse movies. Like even if you didn't give a shit, it's like awesome looking.
Sure.
The score is by Mark Mothersbaugh. A lot of good songs on the soundtrack. Yeah, I think it's a great movie. Yeah.
I mean, and it automatically it wins points just for having Mark Mothersbaugh.
Yeah, Will Arnett is in it. He does the Lego Batman voice for everything. So like even the Lego Batman movie, and he's great at it because he's funny. And I don't know, don't have much else to say. You should probably watch it. I mean, it's only a couple hours of your life, and it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a couple hours I don't have. I got to prepare the bunker, Eric. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. Well, you could have it on in the background.
Well, yeah, but then I'm not paying attention to it. See, I have prepper meals that I got to store away in the freezer.
I thought you were just stacking cans and setting booby traps.
No, I'm one of those foodies. I'm one of those foodie preppers.
You're a meal prepper?
I'm a meal prepper. Yeah, exactly. I'm like the celebrity chefs. I'm like a celebrity chef in the bunker,
Wow.
Yeah. I'm
You
making
got
like,
any spare room in that bunker there?
no, but I got spare ribs. Lots of them. You can come over for them if you like.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, they'll find you in like the first day from the smells of awesome barbecue coming out of
Yeah.
the chimney of your bunker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They're like from the ground, there's like this smoke cloud coming up and
Yeah.
smells like barbecue.
I mean, unless there's just a lot of people burning on the surface, then it probably would smell about the same. Oh, speaking of dark burnt meat, what about burnt ends? You ever heard of that group?
Oh yes, yes.
Well, I bet one of our guests today likes burnt ends.
Yeah, and it turns out that at least one of our guests and more than one of our guests was in a group called Burnt Ends.
Yeah, we got there.
Yep.
Buster. The cat's looking at me. Sorry.
Buster.
He's like, are you ever gonna rein this in? You ever gonna make this burnt ends connection or what?
Yeah. Let's just just keep going.
Okay, so who was in this band called Burnt Ends? They've been waiting in the waiting room for a little bit.
Are they there right now? Yeah. MJ Dunlap.
Yep, that's him.
Michael Dunlap.
Yeah.
And then
Steve Hansen.
Steve
joining
Hansen.
us too.
Yep. And now is it just Steve and MJ?
As far as I can tell.
Okay, that's what I thought. Well, let's bring them all in.
We should also say that they're in a current group called 10 Tigers AC,
which stands for 10 Tigers and Collective.
Yeah, and we just reviewed their record not long ago.
I'm telling you right now, Dreams for Sale, their record. I actually just got the vinyl yesterday.
Oh, cool. Is it good looking? Looking good?
It's sharp. And I'll tell you what, it sounds great on vinyl. And there's things that I noticed, and I might actually address this today. There's things that I noticed listening to the physical copy that I didn't really notice on Spotify. And,
well, there's a chance it was mastered for vinyl,
Yeah, that's
did you just get a message saying, why won't you let us into the Zoom?
We are all logged in. We're ready when you are. All right.
Shit, great start. They already hate us.
Yeah, we'll address that. We'll be like, you came on our show.
Yeah. You knew what to expect.
You know what
We're
to expect. You listen to us. Yeah. Okay.
All right, here they come. Oh man, you guys are smoking ciggies. Lucky.
We're outside in
and cigars.
Wow. We're outside in our normal break from rehearsal space just to be comfortable.
Nice.
Cool.
It's weird that it's light out.
Yeah.
It's not dark. I got to see all these guys in the light.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being with us, y'all. Wow.
Absolutely.
The whole dang crew. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, here we are with 10 Tigers and Collective. How are you guys doing this morning?
So far, so good.
Or this early afternoon, I guess you could say. Why don't we just kind of start with a history of, 10 Tigers and Collective. I think that's really cool that you guys have we were just kind of talking about this, me and Erik, about how it's pretty cool that you guys kind of have this idea of having like guests come in and jam. And so it's kind of more of like a collective approach than just a band. Because, I noticed on the credits on the vinyl that you have like Blake on it and Brian Getkin is on it. And they're not, full-time members of the band, I suspect. But I think that's really cool. And so, so what led up to the formation of 10 Tigers AC?
Well, I guess I'll start and then those guys can chime in and correct me as we go. So Nate's actually, he's got a pretty good story where originally the AC kind of stood for and a camel. But, that goes back to his circus days. And but as we were going, and Collective kind of seems like it fits the mode. And I was going to bring this up last Wednesday at band night, and I started to, and then we got sidetracked, probably because we were drinking and stuff. But they kind of, it's been like a poker night only we play music instead of cards. So like every Wednesday for the last, I don't know, Nate, like 20 some years,
25 years.
25 years, we would just get together for band night on Wednesdays, or it might have changed throughout the years, but and it was just like, we're gonna record, we're gonna jam, we're gonna do whatever we're doing for music, and whoever wanted to participate was welcome to come along. And so like, if you look at SoundCloud, I think there's probably on our SoundCloud stuff we put out there's probably 5 or 6 other musicians that we didn't credit on this album that have participated throughout the years.
So was the idea originally kind of an improv situation at first then?
Yeah, I think it first started just as a few people getting together and really teaching each other how to play songs together, acoustic guitars mostly. Chad Yoakum was involved. Rebecca, gosh, what's her last name? She was there in the very beginning.
Oh, Perry Hines, he was a part of it too back then.
And we would play and just kind of jam and play. We'd play things like hymns and all sorts of just basic songs. And then I moved to a place down on the Mississippi by the Spillway, and we started then going there and playing together, and eventually played together long enough that actual songs started coming out of it. And I had a Roland 8-track recorder at the time, and we started recording the practices and rehearsals. And then not too long after, John Watkins and John Bolt started coming over, and all of a sudden Burn-Ins came out of that. And that was 4 or 5 years of Burn-Ins. And then I moved to a different house, and we had the wine cellar on Roscoe Avenue. And we did a lot of jamming there and recording and writing songs, and really using the multi-track recorders to write the songs that a lot of them we've never even played live and don't even know how to at this point. But just always was the night of the week that you looked forward to help you get through the rest of the work week. And finally ended up here out on Hale Street in basically a spare bedroom in our house, and our recording equipment got better over the years. And so what is now the record we have just recently put out is all rehearsal recordings. We record all our rehearsals basically, and we picked some of the best recordings, did minimal overdubs, vocals mostly, to make them a little bit better. That's kind of where we're at.
Wow. So a lot of the record was recorded live, like as a live band then?
All of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't realize. That's amazing. It sounds great.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
The funny thing was that as we were going, we were like, we picked a couple of those live recordings. We're like, okay, we like this one. Like maybe there was a particular part or jam we liked. And then when we finally sent it off to start getting mixed and everything, every week we would play again. We're like, oh, we should have sent that one. That one was better.
Nice. So since you guys kind of started as just getting together and jamming and everything, did you already have like set roles in the band, or did you sort of fall into like, oh, I kind of like playing bass better than whatever? Like, was it set from the beginning what you guys play, or did you just find it as you went?
Well, I think that's kind of an interesting question, like over the years, because I think when we were playing as Burnt Ends, which like Mike Clifton, he's on this album, he was an original Burnt Ends member as well. It was always funny because when we'd be playing live shows, like we'd play like 2 or 3 songs, and then you'd see everybody take off their guitars and we'd all trade. And so somebody would play bass on different songs. But then when we came back, well, then we had like times where we were just in the studio. So it's just like anybody could pick up any instrument they wanted. You know, we've got keyboards, a flute or whatever, and and yeah, we got a pocket saxophone. But then, like about 2 years ago, or right after I moved back into the area, we started getting together again, and we were still doing where we were just recording songs, but we were starting to play a little bit live, and we knew Reaganator was like, he always enjoyed our music and talked about participating. So then we were like, hey, let's see if he's available to come jam with us. And he said he'd play bass. And so then we're like, okay, I guess he's our bass player.
Sweet.
Same thing with Steve. He was a drummer from the beginning, you know.
So I know some of you guys are in other active bands, right? Or maybe not right at the moment, but as you've been playing, like, do you guys see this sort of like a side project from those things, or like a core thing you're working on? Yeah, I don't know if like a reprieve. Is this kind of like where you go to blow off some steam?
Yeah, I think so. I think for sure. It's definitely been Wednesday night has been regular for us. It's been fun out of the get-go. And for me, being in another band, I think it's been kind of a reprieve, like you said. It's been nice change of pace from what I'm used to, I guess.
What's your band?
Cool.
What do you play? What's your other band?
The other band is Heavyweight.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's a big change. It's from what I'm used to, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you bring any elements of Heavyweight with you, or is it a completely separate thing with the two bands? Because definitely Heavyweight is a much different style of music. You know,
for
so
sure. No, I think it's definitely separate. I bring a little bit of vocals, I guess, backup vocals. So I mean, that's about the only thing that I bring from Heavyweight, I guess.
Sure. You know, one of the things that I wanted to mention that I'm kind of picking up on sort of this, like, Nate and MJ, you're the two main vocalists, correct?
Yeah, I'd say Nate's probably the main vocalist, and I happen to sing back up on a few and sing on one song.
Okay, so one of the things that me and Erik talked about was how we really liked the vocals on the record, because they kind of added this like quirkiness through like this really sort of like vibey, atmospheric kind of music. You know, like at times I think we both kind of described it as almost like a rockabilly singer, you know, or something like that, which I think is really, really cool, because I think it really gives you guys a very unique sound. But one of the things that I kind of picked up on was it sort of seems like there's this combination of, like, with the lyrical content, and maybe I'm looking too into it, but sort of like this combination of almost like an apocalyptic sort of theme mixed with like emotional, I guess, kind of like what comes to mind is that song Pancakes. I mentioned that that's one of my favorite songs, and I feel like the lyrics are just so direct and like are very relatable. But like the first song, you know, you're kind of singing about science, or at least that's the words, you know, that's the lyrics. And so to me, it sounds like a futuristic, like almost like a futuristic, like Americana record or something. It's kind of the way that I would describe it. And I just, that's so cool to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about the review that you talked about on the last podcast of reviewing our record, and how there's a kind of a country twang to it, which I'm not sure where that comes from. It's must be a natural thing, because I don't know that any of us are really into country twang music at all. And I don't know where that comes from, and that's maybe just natural. But as far as the lyrics go, like Thaw, the song with the soft science reference, that song, and Dreams for Sale, most of those lyrics were all written by Blake Daly. And so I don't ever know where he's coming from or where he comes up with them. We'll record some music, and then it's time to, basically this is where the lyrics come from. It's time for that part of the song to happen, and none of us really have a lot to say. So we pretty much write some lyrics that are hopefully not dumb and maybe aren't even all that cohesive even throughout one song, but maybe we hope that there's a line or two in there that might resonate with the listener. You know, who knows what they might think they mean, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
But Blake will come and like Dreams for Sale, for instance, there is like 4 pages of lyrics in that song, and he basically is like, well, I think I might be able to sing something to that, and he doesn't have any papers or anything he's reading off of, and then out comes this whole song in one take, and he's sung the whole thing, and we're like, did he really just make all that up, or has he been sort of keeping this in his back pocket and for a situation like this? And I, to this day, do not know the answer to that. But the songs that the rest of us here have contributed lyrics to, really, that was the goal. Have some lyrics that maybe one line at a time might have some meaning, but not necessarily wanting to say anything too important as a whole.
Well, and I want to add to that a little. So, yeah, I mean, like the whole thing with Blake, it's really kind of funny. I mean, we had to sit there and listen to the song a bunch of times so we could write down all the words, because we're like, all right, well, he doesn't, you know, he's not, he doesn't come to band practices and isn't the singer, so we got to figure out how we're doing this song. And so, but what's interesting when you bring up Pancakes is that Nate actually, he wrote all of the words, I think, for Pancakes, or most of the song. He had I think, some ideas, because I remember back in the Burnt End days, which ironically, like, so Pancakes is probably one of the oldest songs that we'd ever worked on, like from 22 years ago. But like he'd get ideas even if you know, on his way back and forth from Minnesota, and he'd like jot down a few of them as he was going, like, and then bring them to us. But when you, like, if you were to look at all of our complete catalog of stuff that we've never even published or put out there, a lot of the lyrics were us sitting around right where they're at right now, and somebody would pick up a notepad and write down one line or two, and then they'd set it down or hand it to the next guy, and then we'd continue to bullshit, and somebody might hear something or think of an idea and they'd write it down, and then like maybe a kind of a theme would happen, but sometimes the theme, it would be randomness, but then the theme was created from the randomness.
Cool. That's almost reminds me of like a writer's workshop class or something. I didn't realize that Blake did lyrics to a couple of the songs. That's really interesting. You know, so how big? So Blake, was he involved like more so like in the beginning of the group, or is it just kind of like he's always kind of been coming and going?
He would just show up at band practice, like at band night.
Just like random.
Well, so like when they was talking about the cabin, so like that we had the original recording equipment in. So when I was down there, like, I remember seeing Blake play in like a band when he was in high school. I think it was called like Left at the Light or you know, something like that. Paraguay, yeah, it was Paraguay. Thanks, Dan. And I was like, oh, I wanted to try to get better at recording. So I was like, hey, do you want to come over? I've got this space here and I'll record your guys' band and do like 3 tracks for you. Won't charge anything, just for fun. And yeah, the guys you brought over, it was pretty cool. It was fun to keep tabs on what the kids in school were doing as far as like the indie band scene. But I don't know, something about Blake just stuck with us, where we were like, hey, do you want to come and jam with us? And then I remember as Burnt Ends, and he was like 18 years old. We were taking him into bars, you know, to play with us till 2 in the morning, you know. So he's always been a really good friend of ours and participated, and he's gone on to do many wonderful things. And it's like, it's kind of like the rest of the collective, like Jake Stambro or some other people. That's like, well, when they're around, they know on Wednesday nights they're going to come and pop in, and we'll do whatever we're doing that night with them around.
It's really cool. So it's like a rotating open door. I like that.
Yeah. It has been though, this core group now that's playing like for about the last year and a half, 2 years, where the randomness of others is a little less, but I think that's just as life changes, you know.
Sure.
Yeah. I was wondering, because, you know, when we do reviews, we try to sort of dissect things, and sometimes we're way off base, you know. And so I don't know if we were with you guys or if we connected with some things that were there, but in your opinion, do you guys have like core sounds or genres or bands or whatever that you sort of see yourself alongside or were a big influence on what you do? Or is it just kind of like you've known each other forever, you've all listened to very similar things, and it just comes out?
It's all about the meat puppets.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Yeah.
Yep, 100% me puppets.
I think it's the latter. It's just what we feel comfortable playing. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think. I mean, as far as the meat puppets go, I have heard of them so many times over the years and never really sat down and listened to them until the last 2 weeks. And I like them a lot, and I credit you for making me listen to them.
Well, you're welcome.
Your last podcast, but I think another thing that maybe will lets us feel like it's okay to be a little silly or not worry too much about how emotional or intellectual the vocals are is I think a lot of us are big Ween fans, and so that is like, okay, you can make music that sounds good, and the vocals don't necessarily have to be some big poetic, meaningful, emotional thing. But there's lots of other influences, I think, for me anyway. One of our big things that helps us to keep trudging along is simplicity in what we're playing, so that it's easy to add something to it, whether you're playing the bass or the guitar or drums, is that we keep the songs really quite simple. Most of the songs don't have lots of different chord changes. Simplicity and repetition, I think, is the tenet of a lot of our songs, and I'm not sure exactly where that comes from, but I think of Spaceman 3 and Spiritualized a lot as far as that goes, even though we don't necessarily sound like them. Velvet Underground maybe a little bit too, where we just like to keep a good solid sound going, and it leaves it wide open for anyone to do, whatever they're feeling.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that I would hear people say when we used to play back in the day was that because we had so many guitar players going, that everybody would be watching us, but they'd be like, well, we don't know who's doing what, but there's a lot of guitar sound. But it's everybody's doing something fairly simple, but then you're putting it all together, and it's like this sound, this wall of sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
I still don't know who plays what on guitar.
That adds to the whole simplicity too, because I noticed that like there's also a lot of like buildup like within that simplicity, and so in the end it's almost like deceptively simple to me, because it sounds like, because of that wall of sound, it sounds like there's just tons of stuff going on, and that's what I really like about the presentation of the record as well.
Yeah, and I like. We'll just tell you what we think of your band at this point. No, I'm just kidding. But no, MJ, when you said like there's a bunch of stuff, like especially guitars going at all the same time, one thing I really did like, because they're kind of simple lines, they're also intricate within each other, and I really enjoyed that no one really got in each other's way. People seem to be doing their own thing, but all as a collective, and I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if that's an intentional thing or just like that's how it works because you guys know each other and know to.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
We all trust what everyone's doing. So it all falls.
When you do it enough, and you're like, it's natural. It's that warm, fuzzy, comfortable place. And I've I absolutely love playing with everybody that's involved in this, but I know that Nate and I, we've been together for a long time, and I really feel like when you talk about this, where they interlock, I've always felt like him and I have had that like great connection where we know how to play our own thing while complementing the other at the same time, and then it does create that sound, and it's a really great relationship to have. It's one of my favorite relationships I'm in.
Nice.
So the fact that you
How
guys,
sweet.
Yeah. I love that. That's great.
the fact that you guys recorded the album all live, were there any parts on there that were improv?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Every time we
Go
play
ahead, Nate.
songs, they come out a little different, and so in that respect, they're always improv. Like there's Devil's Daughter. I don't think I played that song the same way twice. It probably goes for a few of the songs, but that one in particular, it's an improv jam every time we play it.
That's
Nice.
awesome. So was that kind of an idea that you went in with, or
I don't
is
think
that
we're
just sort
capable of playing it the same way every time.
Yeah.
It's always
It's a
funny
lot
because it's like
It's a lot
Yeah.
different now than it was when they recorded it. That's for sure.
yeah.
Carl.
And like it always had to do with like I think our mood or our feelings or whatever was going on that night, or even like sometimes we'll be playing one song and it'll make us go, oh, we're gonna just go right into this other song now somehow, and then because of the direction we were going, it'll be a completely different song. What's funny about Devil's Daughter is like that was that whole idea came up just on one night over at Brian Getkins, so that's
That
his
was Phil
credit.
Spector's house.
It's Phil Spector's house.
You were there.
I was there. We were under the gun.
Yep. He was like, "Get up!" He was like, "You guys better keep playing." And he held the proverbial gun to our heads and said, "Make a song."
Phil Spector usually
Yeah, so
uses
then-
real guns, so that's nice.
Yeah. Which I will say, by the way, if any listeners are out there interested, a little plug for my buddy Brian. He does have a pretty dope studio at his place, and so BBG Sound. There you go.
Cool.
That's cool.
I went on vacation one week, and so we couldn't come over to my house, and so all the guys went to Gedkin's house, and that's kind of the origins of Devil's Daughter.
Cool.
So that song was written with Brian Getkin. Did he contribute like parts of it, or was it just sort of?
We showed up. We said we didn't
Go ahead,
have
Steve.
anything, and he goes, "You're gonna have something."
While holding the gun to your head.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
MJ and I kind of were like, "Well, shit, we better figure something out." So he just started playing guitar. I started playing the drums, and then it all just happened.
Cool.
Yeah, he's got the original recording, and we literally just sat down. We played it once, and then Reaganator sat down, played it once, and then he's like, "All right, now write some words to this." And we're like, so we made it up right there, and that's what they are.
So on the album, you might have already said this, but were most of the songs just one take?
They were just like MJ said earlier. They were the pick of the litter. Like we record every practice, so we would just listen to Nate. Or Nate would send them out. We'd all listen to them and say, "Yeah, that's a good one. We should keep that. Put that on the record."
What was that process like?
It was just natural. Like Devil's Daughter, for instance, they had the basis from that infamous night at Gedkin's place, and then I'm sure that it developed a lot after that night, just as we would start to rehearse it every week. And so the recording that's on the record is many months or maybe even more than a year later, when we finally got it to a point where we thought it was a solid song.
Yeah, so like, we do our band nights are like, we have these songs we look forward to playing because we've curated them and massaged them to what they are, and we jam them, And then there's also just like randomness jams. Like we won't even start with a song. We'll just like, somebody will just start playing a couple notes and then we'll just see a jam. And so when we have these recorded sessions, then every once in a while we can go back and be like, hey, we really liked, this particular jam. Is there something there that we may be able to develop into what becomes the songs?
I don't have a question. I just want to say this is so cool to find out how this all works, because I had no idea that you guys were just, they had been getting together for a long time, that all this was done live. Like, I didn't know any of the story, so that's cool to hear. Like I said, no question, just telling you got a cool thing going. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it basically got to a point where we're like, let's put something out. We feel comfortable. We got a band. Let's do it.
What's funny is between just Nate and Steve and I, when we had a few years where really we were just like the three core, I don't know how many songs. We probably got 20, 30 other tracks that we've never done anything with. And then I honestly couldn't tell you how many songs that we've never actually published that we have. And some of them are kind of good.
Nice.
We're hoping maybe in the future
it won't take 10 years to make something.
No, we'll have kind of a backlog of songs that we recorded, and we recorded them one track at a time, one instrument at a time, and that's how they were written. And they're, I think, really cool. The vocals are sometimes don't have a lot of confidence because they were the first take or second take or whatever, but I think there's a lot of songs that we have already that we could eventually figure out how to play live in our rehearsals, and then add them to our set, and potentially then down the road either record them the same way as rehearsal recordings, or I think it would be fun to get a little bit of a grasp of how to play them, and then go to a more of a studio and record them and see how they sound. And then maybe, there's going to be new songs that potentially will present themselves that we could add to a future record also.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing about that. Back to the song Pancakes. It makes me feel nostalgic listening to those lyrics. Like it kind of feels like you're talking about either growing up, or maybe just like living in the present, with like a family of your own or something. Like either one of those, like I feel could work with like, the lyrics, I don't know. I just really like that song, Nate. Sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, that one has I guess at least one line in it that dates it PS2.
Yes.
Which so that I guess we could change it to PS5 now. But that sort of is how long ago that song originated from. But it's I think probably every verse has a little different theme to it, but I really like the last verse, and it talks about morals and things you'd like to do but you don't because it's against your morals, and then ends on pancakes for dinner, which last night my wife and I had breakfast for dinner. And so it wasn't pancakes, but it was French toast. And so but yeah, about 4-0 for breakfast and a teeny for lunch, and things that you maybe shouldn't do but you want to sometimes. So yeah, that's a good oldie that we revived for this album.
Do you prefer French toast or pancakes?
Oh gosh, they're both so good, but I think probably French toast I like a little bit better.
I used to like French toast. I'm more of a pancake guy as I get older, which is weird because usually I feel like pancakes are more the kids' food.
I just put a waffle on both of them. It's kind of like a breakfast turducken.
What would that be called? Be like a panful toast or something? I don't know.
Yeah, a French pan waffle. I don't know.
French panful. Anyway,
Panful.
yeah.
French
panful.
cakeful.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, there you go. French cakeful. Yeah. All
That
delicious
sounds
as
good.
long as you just cover
Ben
it.
name called it.
You got it. You got it. We won't even challenge it. That's fine. So I'm kind of the gear obsessed person. I think, yeah, between Dan and I, there are a lot of effects on the guitars. This is a weird question, but for those of you who use effects, what is your favorite effect to use?
Well, I guess I would say over the years, the times when I was able to come up with a new idea for a song, for instance, was because I just got a new pedal or guitar or keyboard, and just wanting to mess around with it for the first time often would a new idea for a song would come out of it. And so that has been a great excuse to buy new gear over the years, is because that would probably lead to me at least one time sitting down just to mess around with it and be able to come up with a new idea. But my current guitar rig is basically using a Kemper profiler, which has everything in it, like all the different effects and different amp sounds. And so that's what I had been using, and what I recorded all of these songs with my guitar on is the Kemper profiler.
Cool.
And so it's got a fair amount of delay and reverb and tremolo, and it's got a wah pedal that I can use with it.
My favorite sound that Nate does is the wah.
Yeah, that was my question, actually. What is your favorite effect that someone else uses? So as the group that you currently are, have you guys played a lot of shows?
No, zero.
Zero? Do you have
This
any
was
plans
all about
of doing
getting
it?
ready. This was all about getting ready to play out.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been working on lining up some shows because we are ready to do that. We don't have anything in the works yet or any dates, but we're hoping maybe Raccoon Motel here this winter, spring.
Cool.
Been in touch with them, and who knows, maybe locally Mississippi Brew for a weeknight show possibly, but no, we're ready. But
ideally opening up for Built to Spill at Codfish Hollow. I think that's in the works, right?
Oh, that
would be amazing.
Our agent's on that one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put that out in the universe. Hope it happens.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I'd love to see you guys.
So playing live is not probably going to sound exactly like the record, but because it, like we were saying, it changes, and we just go with whatever feels right. We don't force it.
Yeah,
that's
exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm stoked. So you'll have to let us know when that's happening. So you guys have the 10 Tigers AC record that's available on vinyl. Do you guys individually have anything else that you're working on that you want to promote or push or anything?
Well,
Steve's pushing a beer.
Yeah, we
were just discussing whether we should mention that.
We got a beer coming out.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. That's awesome.
Really?
Contrary Brewery.
Yeah,
right?
Contrary is going to put out
Yeah.
a 10 Tigers beer. Dusty Sides.
Oh, cool.
Dustin
Right.
Sides.
Mm-hmm.
Organized that.
the label that they're making for the cans, and it's really awesome. It's using the album cover for Dreams for Sale as the background, and yeah, it's really awesome. It seems a little bit surreal that could happen without even ever playing live or anybody knowing really much about us. And so yeah, that's super great.
Who did the art for?
That's
for
what I was
your-
going to ask.
for the album.
It was AI generated through Night Cafe, and then I did some tweaking and stuff to it. But so I was generating it through that process.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it looks great. I like it.
It does. Yeah, it's a beautiful, like, yeah, the record especially jumps out at you.
Yeah, I didn't know if I'd like an AI generated artwork, but it works.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hate on it too, but every time I use it, I'm just like, that's fucking amazing, dude. Like, I can't believe how intricate and amazing the art is, and I can't hate it. I wish I could.
So you could pick up how I was like talking a little lower, as if I wasn't sure.
Totally. Yeah. Yep. But it does make really cool stuff. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I can't wait till it can just write my songs and play them for me. I'm so excited. just push a button and be like, there it is. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do about it.
That's
Just
exactly
remove
what I
myself.
was gonna play.
Yeah, right.
And actually, we didn't play anything on this record. It's all AI.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well, that's what the C and AC is. It's and Chat GPT.
Make us sound like the Meat Puppets.
We loaded every Meat Puppets record in, and this is what
The
came out.
country twang.
You're just like AI doing like AI doing
There you
new
have it,
songs.
folks.
Yeah, that is kind of embarrassing. I gotta say that Dan and I both heard that in there, and then it was kind of like, well, shit. What if they hate the Meat Puppets? You know, like they're not gonna feel.
You know
good
what?
about that.
I gotta say this though. When I moved to Arizona when I was 18, I wasn't old enough to go see the Meat Puppets. Were like House of Large Sizes in
Sure.
Arizona. That same kind of. And I'd sit outside of the bar and listen to the Meat Puppets play because I wanted to go so bad. And then they were great, man. They're a great band. I mean, let's not deny that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't sound anything like them, but they're good. They're good.
They're all right.
They're okay.
So are you guys rehearsing today, or are you just hanging out? You're just
Still
doing
in there.
this? Yeah.
We might go ice fishing. We have a pond about 100 yards away.
Wow. I just got so jealous I can't even express it.
You know,
Wow.
Eric, to rub it in a little bit, I'm gonna say, like, I do think, and I think I kind of learned this, not to gloat over Nate too much, but I do think throughout my life I've learned a lot from him growing up, because he's a lot older than me, so he experienced things
Sure.
before me.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But I will say, like, when it comes to like the concepts of what we were doing and why we were doing it, I can't express how grateful I am to think, like, we really did always have had this mentality that's like, it's just Guitar Club. It's our weekly poker thing that we would do, only we don't play cards, and we do it religiously every Wednesday because it's a release from the world, and it's healthy for your mind, and it's enjoyable. And when you don't have those expectations, I don't think people's egos get in the way, and guys stay playing music for 25 years together.
Yeah.
Amazing. That is really cool. You guys have been playing so long, and I think you can hear it. I really do. Like I said, with all those kind of slinky, intertwining, viney elements, like you can
Swirling.
just tell. Swirling. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That was the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, there definitely is a sense that you guys definitely know how to play off of each other and know how to listen to each other for sure.
Yeah.
Like all throughout the entire record. But
Yeah.
thanks for coming on. And
thank you guys so much.
You guys are doing a good thing, and it's great. You're local. We're local. We're doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I'm glad
absolutely.
you guys were able to be on it, and you put something out. And I mean, it's a big deal to put something out. I think we all know that. We've all known people that have played in bands for, like you said, 20 years that they haven't done that. And so it's a line in the sand, if you will. You know what I mean? It's like we're going from this to this.
Mhm.
It's a big deal. So I'm glad you guys did it, and it turned out really, really great. So
I'm
Thanks.
glad you guys I'm glad you guys like it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
And
if any
thanks for
or
the
all of
support
you
and
ever want to
everything.
be back on, well, we can work it out because good conversation. Nice.
Great. Well, yeah, we've got recipes for like sauerkrauts that we'll talk about, and yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna go build a garage, so I'll see you guys later.
All right.
See ya.
See you later, MJ.
Thanks. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much. It was super fun. And
Yeah.
honestly,
Great.
I'll come down on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
Right.
dude,
Don't
come
tempt
down.
me.
Bring your safe down.
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
bring it
a
to-
scent.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
yeah. We leave it
Awesome.
open. You can
Cool.
do whatever you want.
Cool. That for real. That would be awesome. So thank you guys so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Have a good afternoon. I
This
hope
is
you
like
go
a
ice fishing.
Midwestern goodbye right now, isn't it?
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
a digital.
I guess we'll be
group
seeing you.
Well, I better let's be going.
well,
hug.
well, I guess.
You guys, I love your podcast, man. It's awesome.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much.
very
So
much.
much for seriously, like that's amazing that you give us any credit for us doing
Yeah,
it.
It's amazing that you're on. I mean, this is a rinky dink thing. You guys are seeing behind the curtain today. Like Dan and I have seen each other in real life, in person, 2 times since this has
Since we started recording this podcast together.
Not a joke. We don't know each. I mean, we don't. Maybe we know each other. We don't like each other. Not enough.
Hey,
to
I
see
play in a
each
band
other.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
No, but
We would never be seen in public with each other.
yeah. No.
Bullshit. You guys be eating pancakes and waffles together.
No.
Yeah, that's true. We would be making breakfast.
No, this is exactly how the podcast is made, except we don't share video. That's
Yeah.
the truth. Yep. So so you guys are working harder and putting out better stuff as far as I'm concerned. So Phenomenal.
We'll keep going. You guys keep us motivated, man. We'll
cool.
No.
Yeah.
keep it going.
Well, we got a symbiotic thing going now, so we'll have to deal with it.
Awesome.
We gotta go. This has to stop.
Yeah, it's getting. It's going to places that we have
yeah.
never traveled before.
All right. That sounds
All right.
good, boys.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much again.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Have a great day, guys.
Oh man, that was fun.
That was really fun. Yeah.
A little too
Yeah.
much fun, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. It was.
Oh,
yeah.
good interview. Good
Great
times. Cool
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, how they came up with it, how they made it, how they did all this is truly a cool story.
Pretty incredible. That it makes me want to see them live.
Me too.
Like-
I hope they get set up with a show pretty soon. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, 10 Tigers, cool guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We learned a lot today about. Boy, I'll tell you what. That still just blows my mind about.
Yeah.
How that band came together and
Mm-hmm. And
Really
how
good
the
stuff.
recording was made. Really
recording. Really cool guys, and
cool.
yeah, go out and check them out. And I encourage you all to, if you can, it's $25, but I'm telling you, it's $25 well spent.
Nice.
If you enjoy this kind of music, any of the stuff that we've compared it to, it's fantastic. So
Good stuff.
Thanks
Go to
for
Bandcamp.
listening.
Check it out.
Yep, go
Yeah.
to Bandcamp and bye.
Oh shit.
I guess we're doing that.
I guess we're done. Okay, everybody. Bye.